Sandeep sir. Am I audible, sir?
Can you hear me? This is Sandeep here.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir. We can see your slides. We'll just shortly start, sir.
How much more time?
Another 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
Sir, could you switch on your video, sir? Yes, sir. Good morning to all the participants and the esteemed speaker. With the kind consent of the principal and convener, we are starting today's session of AICT sponsored 1 week STTP program. I, Salma Kausar, Department of Biotechnology, Assistant Professor, take this as a privilege to introduce today's speaker for this session. We have Dr. Sandeep Sareen. He is Scientist G and Advisor, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. Dr. Sareen has done MTech in Biotechnology and Bioengineering from IIT Kharagpur. He also holds a master's degree in Business Administration and Sciences and has more than 25 years of experience in public and private sectors. He is involved in strategic planning, design, and effective implementation of more than 30 programs to advance innovative scientific and technological research to address product development needs. He is also involved in building and managing strategic alliances, partnerships with national and international government, non-government stakeholders, and industry. He is actively involved in design and implementation of enabling policies to develop and empower an effective global health research ecosystem in India. Sir, on behalf of the principal, management, HOD, staff and students of the Department of Biotechnology, the Oxford College of Engineering, we take it a privilege in welcoming you for being our guest speaker today at this session. Welcome, sir, and it is over to you to start with the session.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible?
Yes, sir, you're
Okay.
audible.
So basically, I'm going to give you an overview of the HRD programs of Department of Biotechnology. The department aims at holistic development and support for students, young researchers, as well as scientists working in various areas of biotechnology. HRD division of department has been involved in capacity building to enhance the biotechnology ecosystem through various schemes. And for helping you out, we have envisaged many international collaborations also to build capacity in cutting edge technologies and priority areas. These are achievements as a glance for last year, 2021. We have about 500 DBT JRF fellowships. We have PG teaching program in 63 institutions covering 1,217 seats, 75 Ramalinga re-entry fellowships we have awarded last year. We have skill Vigyan state partnership programs with 9 states. We have new scheme launched last year or very recently, which is Dr. M.K. Bhan Young Researcher Fellowship Program, and 50 have been awarded recently. 100 RA fellowships have been given. 800 BITP apprenticeship programs, 5 innovation fellowships, 15 innovative young biotechnologist award, 10 national bioscience awards, 3 women bioscientist award, 5 biotech product process development awards, 15 skill development programs, and 2 distinguished professorship programs. Broadly, fellowships are of following kinds: DBT JRF program, DBT RA program, Ramalinga Swami re-entry fellowships, BioCare, which is a specifically women-oriented program, DBT TWAS program, PhD fellowship program under Indo-Australia collaboration, and DBT Wellcome Trust India Alliance fellowship programs. Bright awards are under following categories: Tata Innovation Fellowships, Har Gobind Khurana Innovative Young Biotechnologist Award, Ramachandran National Bioscience Award for Career Development, Janaki Amman National Women Bioscientist Award, Product Process Development Commercialization Award, Distinguished Biotechnology Research Professorship Award, and Dr. M.K. Bhan Fellowship Award. Trainings, as I mentioned you earlier, we have Skill Vigyan, DBT, BITP, and Khurana program for scholars. And teaching program is of two kinds, basically postgraduate teaching program for MSc, MTech, MBSc, and DBT Star College scheme. Outreach, we have two schemes, India Bioscience, Young Investigator Meeting and Student Workshops, and then Conference, Travel, Exhibition, and Popular Lectures. I'll give you small details about various fellowship schemes which I have mentioned earlier. First one is DBT JRF. The objective is to support the doctoral research in frontier areas of biotechnology and allied sciences. These are normal eligibility criteria for any JRF, that it has to be MSc, MTech, MBSc, Indian citizens, minimum 60% marks, below age. Nature of support is that we support about 500 candidates every year, and it is for Indian institutions to work in Indian laboratories. 31,000 is the fellowship for first 2 years, which is extendable to 35,000, and then there is a contingency grant also. And obviously the category wise eligibilities are mentioned in this slide. Duration is 5 years. DBT RA, which is a postdoctoral fellowship, again it is for Indian citizens, NRIs or OCI card holders. PhD degree is required. Age limit is 40 years. For women it is 45 years. Minimum is again 60% for general category. Age is defined. We normally about 100 fellowships, that's the uppermost limit as of now. And stipend is 47,000 to 54,000 per month, with a contingency grant of 50,000 per year. Duration is initially for 2 years, extendable for another 3 years in exceptional cases. Ramalinga Swamy Re-Entry Fellowship is basically a scheme which we have started long back to bring back Indian scientists working abroad and pursue their research careers in country. Higher degree, that is PhD or MD, has to be there. Minimum 3 years of postdoc experience in abroad is required. Should be Indian national, and upper age limit is 45 years. We award 75 fellowships per year. Fellowship is about 1 lakh rupees per month with HRA of 18,500, and then contingency for first 2 years it's about 10 lakhs and 7.5 lakhs for next 2 years and 5 lakhs for fifth year. Duration is 5 years, extendable by another 2 years. Workplace has to be any SNT institution, university lab, and application through host institute based on advertisement. BioCare is a scheme which is basically for women scientists employed full-time in universities and small researchers or unemployed women scientists after a career break. Eligibility, as I told you, the age limit has to be below 45 years, and it is specifically for women scientists. Support is provided under 2 categories. Research grant opportunity, in which a research grant is provided for candidates having post or PhD experience of more than 2 years, and early career scientists having experience less than 2 years post PhD. And then focus areas has to be broadly all areas of biotechnology. Duration is 3 years, again extendable by 2 years. DBT TWAS fellowships. This is basically we are doing in collaboration with TWAS, which is the Academy of Scientists for Developing World, Italy, and Department of Biotechnology. And these are basically fellowship, doctoral and postdoctoral fellowship for third world countries. Postgraduate fellowship is for a period of 5 years. Postdoctoral fellowship is for 12 to 18 months. It covers full travel costs for PG fellows and partial travel costs, and DBT provides stipend, that is 31,000 for postgraduate, 5,000 for second year, and 49,000 for postdoctoral fellows. IIT Bombay Monash Research Academy partnership. This is for creation of multidisciplinary research teams containing high caliber faculty and excellent quality doctoral students. DBT has been supporting 65 PhDs in dual-based joint PhD program, which is awarded jointly by IIT Bombay and Monash Research Academy, Australia. And research themes are broadly biotechnology, water, nanotechnology, clean energy, advanced computational sciences, infrastructure, engineering, humanities, and social sciences. Khurana program for scholars. Again, DBT along with Indo-US Science and Technology Forum and WinStep Forward are partnering to support the prestigious Khurana programs for scholars, named in honor of Dr. Hargobind Khurana, who won the Nobel Laureate in 1968 for his work at interface of chemistry and biology, while a member of University of Wisconsin faculty. Khurana program provides opportunities to Indian students to undertake research at University of Wisconsin and partner universities in summer of each year for a period of 10 to 12 weeks. Objectives are to provide an opportunity to Indian students to gain exposure to world-class research facilities, promote research and capacity building in biotechnology, encourage postgraduate students to take up research, and paving the way for next generation scientists. Eligibility has to be Indian citizens or students in the final year of various programs of graduate and postgraduate. And then cumulative grade point average has to be more than 5. We select about 50 candidates every year and duration is 10 to 12 weeks summer training. DBT Wellcome Trust India Alliance. This is a very prestigious fellowship which DBT in collaboration with Wellcome Trust is doing. There are 3 schemes for this one, which are early career fellowships, intermediate fellowships, and senior fellowships. The implementation of a globally recognized grant funding model, which is given jointly by DBT and Wellcome Trust. 2 times DBT's funding and 1 part is funded by Wellcome Trust. There is a separate body which is basically managing this, and the objectives are development of effective mechanisms to nurture outstanding biomedical scientists in India, enabling transitions to India, reversing the brain drain, providing a pan-India platform to perform competitive biomedical research, devising new mechanisms to promote clinical and public health research. The fellowship duration is 5 years. It has various categories, like it's biomedical, supports biomedical research, clinical research, as well as public health research. These are the eligibility criteria for different programs, and I'm not going to read through each one of those, but I can tell you that these are very prestigious fellowships. You can go to the India Alliance website and have a look at that, and these are considered to be one of the best in the world. Again, these are eligibilities for various schemes of that one. You can go through the website and details are provided there. And there is a team science grants which basically foster interdisciplinary collaborative research that addresses an important health challenge for India. Funding is up to even 10 crores for a 5-year project. And then all the details you can find on the website. Again, similarly for clinical and public health research centers, again the funding is even up to 10 crores per year. Details you can find on the websites, and funds can be requested for even hiring of a new clinical and public health researchers, purchasing equipment and research supplies, maintaining clinical and population cohorts, training early career clinicians, and strengthening research management structure. Clinical research training programs are basically to develop physician scientists to strengthen clinical research in India. All clinical research scientists can collaborate in this one, can apply for this one. Up to 12 fellowships are given. Details are on the website. So basically, India Alliance funds major scientific meetings and provides travel grants to encourage young resource and knowledge sharing and to foster interdisciplinary and international collaborations. DBT Bright Awards. Again, there are various categories which I briefly mentioned you in the beginning. This is a very prestigious new postdoctoral fellowship which we have started this year only. Basically, this is Dr. M.K. Bhan Young Researcher Fellowship Program. Ramalinga Swamy Re-Entry Fellowship, as I mentioned you earlier, we are supporting from 2008 onwards to basically bring back the Indian talent which is abroad. But this scheme we have started basically so that there should not be any brain drain and students should pursue their PhD in the country only and no need of going abroad. So this, as of now, we have started in DBT autonomous institutes where the student can register. The fellowship is about 75,000 per month, which is one of the highest for a doctoral fellowship. contingency for postdoctoral fellowship, and along with the research oblique contingency of about 25 lakh per year, and can even engage a manpower also. If you compare the various RA fellowships, you will see that this is one of the best apart from the DST Inspire, because DST Inspire gives can you see my slides?
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yeah. So DBT RA is about 50,000 rupees per month. CSR RA is of same. DST NPTF is 55,000. DST Inspire gives a higher amount than this one, which is 1.25 lakh. But DBT, this MK Bhan fellowship is 75,000 along with a research grant of 20 lakhs. Tata Innovation Fellowship. This is again to recognize scientists with an academic track record in biological sciences and a deep commitment to find innovative solutions to major health problems in health area, agriculture, and other related areas. And the aim is to reward interdisciplinary work of high quality with emphasis on translation and innovation. The eligibility is that it has to be an Indian national with a PhD degree, regular position in a university, and the age has to be below 55 years. Up to 5 fellowships are awarded each year. Fellowship carries an award of fellowships of 25,000 per month in addition to regular salary from the host institute is provided to the successful awardees, and along with a contingency grant of 6 lakh per annum. Duration is 3 years and extendable by another 2 years. Biotech Product Process Development and Commercialization Award. This is one of the most prestigious awards of biotechnology. Institutions, scientists, entrepreneurs, and persons involved in biotechnology and bioscience are who are making valuable contributions, not only in terms of good research papers, basic research, but also in product process development are awarded. Many of the Indian companies are coming forward for the development of this product process and indigenous research, and it is basically to promote them along with the Indian scientists. We give normally 5 biotech product process awards each year on technology day. And the award carries 2 lakh rupees as award and a citation, and 5 lakh is given if product is commercialized and has much high utilization in the country. We are changing this award in recognition of the MHA guidelines, and changed guidelines will be put up on DBT website soon. Distinguished Biotechnology Research Professorship Award. So the department has initiated this scheme in 2008-9 to recognize eminent scientists who have made outstanding contribution in biological sciences and have superannuated, but are still contributing scientifically and are very active, remain active in countries forum. So it is basically to utilize their services beyond even they are getting superannuated. Eligibility is that it has to be a distinguished Indian scientist in biotechnology or related fields, a fellow of at least one of the following national academies, which is Indian Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences, INSA, or National Academy of Agricultural Sciences. Nature of support is that we provide a stipend or salary or fellowship, you may name it anything, as 60,000 per month, contingency grant of 50,000 per annum, and up to 20 lakh for implementing the research project. 5 awardees are selected in a year, and duration is 3 years, extendable by another 2 years. Hargobind Khurana Innovative Young Biotechnologist Award. So as the name says, it is basically for promoting young Indian scientists and rewarding them. Age limit has to be below 35 years. The objectives are to identify and nurture outstanding young scientists with innovative ideas and desirables for pursuing research career in frontier areas of biotechnology. It covers non-recurring and recurring financial grants, fellowship of up to 75,000 per month, 1 lakh cash award, equipment up to 10 lakhs, can engage manpower, and consumables up to 10 lakh per year. Duration is 3 years. S. Ramachandran National Bioscience Award for Career Development. Again, this is for mid-career scientists, that is below the age of 45 years, for their outstanding contributions in the field of biotechnology and related areas. It carries 10 awards per year. Each award carries a cash prize of
So your PPTs have stopped sharing.
Yeah. Can you see now?
Yes,
Hello?
sir, we can see it. Yes,
Yeah.
we can see it now, sir.
Yes. So each carries a cash prize of 2 lakh and project research grant of 5 lakh per year. Janki Ammal National Bioscientist Award. So this basically is for women scientists below the age of 45 years. And there are two kinds of awards. One is for young category, which is below 45 years, and one is for National Bioscientist Award, which is for senior women. The senior woman carries a cash prize of 5 lakh per year, and the young carries a cash prize of 1 lakh along with a citation and along with a grant, research grant also. About the training programs, one is the Biotech Industrial Training Program, which we support to our young students to provide hands-on training in industry environment to fresh BTech or BE or MSc or MTech students. Minimum 50% marks have to be there. The nature of support is stipend of 10,000 per month, and a minimum of 9,000 is given by the company. Duration is 6 years, and training areas are basically all areas of biotechnology. So R&D, quality control, manufacturing, production, IPR, anything. Provision is of 8,000 trainees per annum, including 100 from Northeast region. And as of now, till date, we have trained more than 3,195 trainees, including more than 2,000 females. Skill Vigyan program. This is to provide quality hands-on training in tools and techniques in multidisciplinary areas of biotechnology. It has 5 basically components: student training program, which is for 10+2 and BSc level students; technician training program for them; then refresher faculty training program to basically upskill scientists, and entrepreneurship training program, and biotechnology finishing schools. Skill Vigyan program we are doing with 9 states as of now. The names of the states are mentioned here, and with these there are sector skill councils, which are basically in the allied areas like life science sector skill development council, healthcare sector skill development council, agriculture sector skill council, and food industry capacity and skill initiative of New Delhi. The certificate and diploma program under Skill Vigyan is given under these areas of medical biotechnology, where we provide training in the area of genetic counseling in JIPMA, Osmania University, and PGI Chandigarh. In agriculture biotechnology under plant tissue culture and aquatic fisheries, and these are name of the universities where we provide this training. And computational biology we have provided in the area of big data biology, and the related institutes have been highlighted. Teaching programs. So, first one is postgraduate teaching program in biotechnology. As I mentioned in the beginning also, that we have about training program in 63 universities, which is going on. The objective is to impart quality education in various areas of biotechnology for generation of critical mass of trained manpower in multidisciplinary areas of biotechnology, which are required for novel, innovative, and cutting-edge R&D. So universities, institutes, and organizations having biotechnology and other science departments can submit joint collaborative proposals for 2-year postgraduate degree program for MSc or MTech in biotechnology. Universities have or institutes having relevant infrastructure and core expertise for starting new specialized programs for existing programs can also apply. Admission of students is being done through graduate aptitude test in biotechnology exam, which is organized by DBT RCB Faridabad, whom we have given this responsibility. Students provided 5,000 to 12,000 studentship as per their eligibility. and grant for laboratory equipment consumer sector have been awarded. 60 programs are being supported across 23 states. DBT Star College Scheme. This is a scheme basically to support colleges and universities offering undergraduate education to improve science teaching across country, to provide critical thinking and encouraging hands-on experimental science at undergraduate level to basic science subjects, to promote networking and strengthen ties with neighboring institutions and laboratories, to encourage more students to take up higher education in science, to increase capabilities of core instrumentation resources, to provide access and exposure to students to research laboratories, and to help in devising standard curricula and standard operating procedures or kits for practicals. Nature of support is given in the form of colleges with potential for excellence and support for developing infrastructure for academics and laboratory activities, grant for recurring and non-recurring, and supported science departments to more than 300 colleges as of now. Outreach programs of DBT. So we have a very successful schemes of conference, travel, exhibition, and popular lectures. Basically, the objective is, as the name suggests, to popularize biotechnology activities. Financial assistance is given for organizing conferences, seminars, symposiums, travel support for researchers to present their papers outside country, support for organizing DBT stalls in exhibitions, and then financial support for popular lectures and webinars. The support is provided only to organizations registered with CTEP. Organizations can register at CTEP. Registration is a one-time process, and then you can apply regularly. India Bioscience. This is again is a scheme which we have given to one of our institutes, basically which aims to increase the visibility of science in society by being a hub for policy discussions, science communication, and as an aggregator of information. In 2017, DBT's funding allowed India Biosciences to award a skill building program to its growing repertoire of activities and work with students and young researchers for their career development. The communication vertical grew leaps and bounds over the years, bringing out latest news, columns, and opinion pieces along with relevant resources and skill building activities. So these, through India Bioscience, we conduct young innovators or young investigators meet every year, in which Ramalinga Swamy fellows or other postdoctoral fellows from around the world in India interact with each other for a period of 5 years or 5 days. The objective is to enable networking of life science professionals across India and abroad, increase visibility of Indian scientific research and opportunities, play a bridging role between life science researchers and educators, aid development of science careers and promote exchange of scientific expertise, and establish bioscience as a node for discussion on policy matters. These are some of the publications and e-booklet and iBiology which have been published by them. Again, some of the brochures on International Grants Awareness Program which have been highlighted by them. Now I'm going to the second component of the presentation, which is basically our sister organization which we have established, which is known as BIRAC, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, which funds to startups and industries. The purpose of establishment of BIRAC is basically for nurturing innovation from ideation to commercialization. Major problems, if you see with biotech sector, is that it is investment heavy, high risk, long gestation period, low success. But if the success is getting achieved, then the reward is also high. So Government of India Enterprise, which is BIRAC, is a Section 8 not-for-profit company under the aegis of DBT, which was set up in 2012. It supports startups, entrepreneurs, medium and large-scale companies for high-risk innovators to develop innovative, affordable products to assess the unmet needs. It supports basically entrepreneurship. It gives grants and investments in the form of funding. Incubation is one of the primary objective. Mentorship is again a major role, and recognition is there through national and global means. And the Areas which are supported are again basically all areas: healthcare, industrial biotech, agriculture and allied, waste management, sanitation, and clean energy. These are some of the priority areas. If you see the products or the schemes which BIRAC is supporting, these are acronymed as eYuva, Sitare, SIIP, BIG, AIR, SIBRI, CRS, BIPP. The details of all these schemes are available on the website of BIRAC. You can access that one. From student researchers to entrepreneurs to startups, it provides funding for each and every stage, that is from ideation stage to idea to proof of concept to early stage development to late stage development. So all these schemes which are there are basically for this purpose. So they have seed funding, LEAP funding, ACE fund, PCUs, which help you to carry your research from ideation stage or idea stage to market stage. Then we have a BioNest and BioIncubator, where the key strategies are again to foster innovation and entrepreneurship, to promote affordable innovation in key social sectors, empowerment of startups and SMEs, contribute through partners for capability enhancement and diffusion of innovation, enable commercialization of discovery, facilitate global competitiveness of Indian enterprise. The BioNest scheme again has basically 4 roles: to provide incubation space, equipment, mentorship, and encourage entrepreneurship. The infrastructure support to biotech startups to commercialize innovative ideas to products is provided by this scheme. It also facilitates high-risk research, innovation, and product development. Financial, institutional, legal, regulatory support for budding entrepreneurs is provided by BIRAC, and encourage knowledge networking among biotech entrepreneurs. This is a India map showing the BioNest incubators which are scattered almost throughout the country. 650 incubators have been supported, more than 650 have been supported till now. Total BioNest incubators are as of now about 50. 3,500 plus manpower has been supported, 250 plus IPs have been granted to this one, 1,000 plus workshops have been conducted, 200 plus product trainings have been commercialized, and the incubation space is more than 5 lakh square feet. BIRAC works on the mechanism of intensifying the impact of industrial innovation, which is acronymed as I4. We have 2 major schemes, SIBRI and BIPP. SIBRI is Small Business Innovation Research Initiative, which supports development and initial validation of new products and technologies. Sorry. The endpoint of the proposed study has to be below a TRL level of 6. So 100% of grant is provided by BIRAC, which is up to 50 lakhs. For projects costing more than 50 lakhs, BIRAC grant, BIRAC grant would be 50 lakhs and 50% of the cost exceeding 50 lakhs, and rest has to be provided by the other fellow. BIPP, which supports validation, demonstration, and pre-commercialization of products and technologies. The end product has to be TRL 7 or above. So one is basically for below TRL 6 and other is from TRL 6 onwards to take it forward, and funding is and BIRAC provides 50% of the funding. These are few of the numbers highlighting the impact of SIBRI. 43 calls have been announced, 298 projects have been supported, about 213 crore have been disbursed. There are 20 technologies which has achieved TRL of 8 and 9 in last 4 years. Total beneficiaries supported at 292, companies supported 243, academic institutes supported again are 243, women beneficiaries 40, collaborative projects 76, new IPs filed 33. Technologies that have achieved TRL 7 in last 4 years are 29. For BIP, 50 calls announced, more than 1,200 proposals have been received, 217 projects supported, 224 beneficiaries, 360 crore fund disbursed, Employment generated about 1800, patents filed 36, products commercialized, developed and commercialized 8, facilities supported 8, products developed and commercialized, 40, and royalty received as of now is about 70 lakhs. This is a new scheme which we have launched few years back, which is Biotech Ignition Grant, which is initial seed funding of about 50 lakhs. Duration is 18 months, 2 national calls per year, 100 to 125 beneficiaries per call. Implemented through partners, mentorship, networking, and ecosystem connect has been provided to them. So this is basically for early stage startups who doesn't have any support at that stage. For their purpose, this big scheme has been launched and it is very successful. If you see some of the highlights which are there, 6,000 proposals have been received, 5,050 have been supported, 175 IPs have been filed, 275 crores of funds have been committed, 75 plus have received follow-on funding through various schemes, 150 new startups have got established, 140 new entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs have been successful, and 50 plus products have been developed. PACE is another scheme which is promoting academic research conversion to enterprise. So this is basically to encourage and support academia to develop products or technologies of societal national importance and its subsequent validation by an industrial partner. It has two components, academic innovative research and contract research scheme. Promotes development and proof of concept for a product or technology with or without the involvement of industry. Grant is given up to 50 lakhs for 18 months duration. And then contract research scheme is there where you have developed a prototype and you want to give it to an industrial partner for further validation. So grant is given to both the partners, no ceiling on project duration or budget. 21 calls have been announced, benefiting 126 beneficiaries. Proposal received are more than 1,300. Technology readiness level is up to 9. Total funds disbursed are 51 crores. Employment generated are 305. Academic institutes supported are 93. And out of that, even 33 companies have also supported just because they might have been doing the contract research for the academic institutes. Then there is a scheme for social innovation program for products, which is known as SPERSH. Social innovation program for products affordable and relevant to societal health. The purpose is to provide affordable product development and social innovation immersion program. In affordable product development, product process and technologies with well-established proof of concept, academia is given support up to 50 lakhs, grant in it, and industry up to 1 crore. And industry contribution has to be 50%. Then in social innovation immersion program, fellowship to social innovators for identifying and addressing specific needs and gaps in social sector and promote social responsibility. Total, as of now, 8 calls have been announced, 58 projects supported, funds disbursed are 17.45 crore. 8 products have been commercialized and 5 products are at TRL 7. 63 beneficiaries are there. Out of these, 48 companies, 9 individuals and 6 academia. It has given employment to 150 people and 12 women entrepreneurs. Then this is another scheme encouraging youth for undertaking innovative research through vibrant acceleration, which has been acronymed as EUVA. The purpose is to promote a culture of entrepreneurial innovation among young students and researchers, implemented through EUVA centers. If you see, this scheme has 4 centers which are there: TN Bioeconomic Cluster, Punjab University Bionest Incubator, Rajasthan Dharwad State Support, and other EYC trying to mature. So which provides support to 30 innovation fellows, 8 startups, 14 big applications, and 8 IPs have been generated out of this. And then the components of EUVA have been basically the Innovation Fellows and EUVA Fellows. Innovation Fellows are basically postgraduates and above. EUVAs are undergraduate students. Then EUVA centers provide pre-incubation space, managed fellowships, and entrepreneurial workshops have been conducted there. Then for product commercialization program, we have early translation accelerators, which focuses on catalyzing transformation of young academic discoveries, publication patents into possible commercially viable ventures and technologies. The early translation clusters have been established at CCAMP Bangalore, IIT Madras Bioincubator, IIT Mumbai, and Yenepoya Foundation for Technology Incubation. Then these are some of the equity schemes for startups. One is SEED, which is Sustainable Entrepreneurship and Enterprise Development Fund, in which startup support is given up to 30 lakhs. LEAP, which is Launching Entrepreneur Driven Affordable Products, where startup support is given up to 1 crore. And Biotechnology Innovation Fund, where startup support can be even up to 7 crores. So if you see, we have not left any space where we cannot provide funding from for startups and for young researchers. The seed funding, these are the basically the numbers who have got supported. BIRAC seed funding partners are 16, invested startups in 57, number of products commercialized are 55. Follow-on funding by 39 seed funded startups is more than 100 crores, and the valuation has gone from for these startups, 47 startups has reached more than 700 crores. These are some of the products, the partners of BIRAC who are helping us in this developing this innovation ecosystem. We have also made specialized service groups to analyze the intellectual potential of emerging projects in all programs of BIRAC, to handhold this securitization of emerging innovation technologies by way of IP filing and facilitate technology transfer, to provide mentorship to startups, academia, and create awareness and building capacity through IP and technology transfer workshops. To support all the groups, we have an IP and technology management group, which basically supports big Sitare, Seed Fund, Leap Fund, which we have an acronym under Strategic Partnership and Entrepreneurship Development. Investment is under PACE and I4 and SPURGE program. The technical areas are given here. Then we have a Grand Challenge India program. We have a National Biopharma Mission, which is a joint program between DBT and World Bank to develop biotherapeutics, device and diagnostics, and vaccines. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I believe I have given you an overview of all these schemes. Details you can obviously find on DBT website as well as BIRAC websites. Hello.
Open. Yes, sir. Dear participants, the forum is open for the discussion. You can unmute yourself and pose the question, or you can type it in the chat box. So there are few questions. Can we get some financial assistance for doing our PhD program from the DBT?
I told you there are many DBT JRF scheme is one scheme in which we are getting giving fellowships. In my presentation, there were many slides basically which highlights the various schemes, but DBT JRF is one of the most prominent schemes in which we fund PhD fellowship.
For JRF, they should not be employed, no, sir. There are for JRF employed, but here the question is from a faculty member.
For a faculty member, I believe both the things are not permissible as of now in all the guidelines that he is getting a fellowship as well as a salary. You can always register for PhD, but fellowship is probably will only be given to a person who is not employed.
And there is one more question, sir. Can we get some financial assistance for converting our idea into a prototype from DBT?
Yeah, I believe from BIRAC, the scheme which is acronymed as BIG is for that purpose only. So you have to apply to BIG, and then depending on how good your idea is, they will evaluate and can fund you.
Do we have any financial assistance scheme for undergraduate final year students?
For undergraduate final year students, DBT does not support undergraduate fellowship as of now. It's only MSc MTech.
Sir, other than Young Women Fellowship, are there any separate fellowship for women between 35 to 45 years?
I believe the BioCare scheme which is there. The BioCare scheme which I mentioned, that is specifically for women scientists, or even for scientists who have left in between and want to come back.
So do we have any financial assistance program for aromatic crop development and demonstration?
For aromatic hub, basically DBT supports under for medicinal aromatic plants for the R&D component.
That is societal program, right?
But for cultivation, etc., you have to basically probably have to approach National Medicinal Plant Board.
For societal program, aromatic crop production or oil production and demonstration is supported, sir?
Yes, yes. For societal program, anything which benefits society gets supported, but then it has to be linked to R&D or societal expansion.
So when is the call for student entrance exam from the DBT for training, 6 months training?
I believe you have to check the website. It is maintained by a cell, and obviously they'll update it very regularly.
I think that's all from the chat box in. Dear participants, if you have any doubts in your mind regarding the funding, please unmute yourself and you can talk to sir. So he's available with us for another few minutes.
I'll suggest they can go to DBT website and BIRAC website, and if they still have any doubts, just please let us know.
Yes. I think that's the end from the participants. So, on behalf of management, on behalf of convener team, and on behalf of myself, I express my heartfelt gratitude to you for taking your time in spite of your busy schedule and highlighting the various funding opportunity and enlightening the participants for such a wonderful session. I thank you for a wonderful session. I thank Dr. Lakshmi Narayan also for introducing you to us, so that it is a fortune for us to have you in the session, sir. Looking forward for more such sessions in the forthcoming phases also. We have other 3 phases, and I write to you in separate so that you can take one session in each phases, because each phase will have different faculty members, and your talk is so informative that the faculty members who want to find their career in the research definitely will get lot of benefit out of it. I request you to give your consent for forthcoming sessions also, phases also, so that the faculty members will get maximum benefit out of it. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you very much for your kind support.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.